What's up, everybody, and how's it going today? As you can see, I am back in the garage because today I'm going to be installing another part on my Jeep. The part that I'm going to be installing is hopefully going to help improve the bump steer or the bump shimmy that I get from time to time on my Jeep. The reason that this is occurring is because I have the larger size tires and the steering stabilizer that I have on the Jeep is not strong enough to withstand or handle the extra weight when I hit certain bumps. If you've been following along on the channel, you would actually know that I previously installed the Fox 2.0 through shaft steering stabilizer. And at that time when I installed it, I thought that stabilizer was going to be my solution. It was going to add some performance and it would be able to handle the extra weight and reduce the bump steer that I was getting. Well, unfortunately, what I didn't know is that that steering stabilizer is pretty much just a fancy looking stabilizer that offers pretty much the same performance as a stock steering stabilizer. This was something I really did not know right away. It was something I pretty much have just came to the conclusion as I've been using this stabilizer with the larger size tires. And I especially noticed it when I upgraded my tire size from 37s to 38s. I really noticed that the stabilizer was not designed for the larger size tires. So since then, I've actually been looking at purchasing the Fox 2.0 ATS steering stabilizer. This is Fox's adjustable steering stabilizer that gives you the ability to adjust what firmness you want the shock to perform at, which improves the way the Jeep will ride and the way it handles bumps. Well, today I am not going to be installing that stabilizer because I actually came across a deal that I really couldn't pass up. So the deal that I found on Facebook Marketplace that I really could not pass up on was for this used Teraflex Nemesis 2.0 adjustable steering stabilizer. This is Teraflex's version of the Fox ATS steering stabilizer. It is a through shaft design with an adjustable firmness. You can see here at the top here, it has a knob where you can select what firmness level you want it to be to change the way it performs. This goes for about $400 brand new, and I was able to score it for $150. The previous owner said he had used this for about 2 months before he sold the Jeep. And if that is true, that's an amazing deal. And if it's not true, for that price point, this is still a pretty good deal and it's worth trying. This shock looks like it's in great shape. It looks like it's never been off-road, which is typically the case with a lot of Jeeps in New York. So I really can't go wrong with this opportunity to try this out to see if it actually performs a lot better than the Fox through shaft steering stabilizer that I currently have on the Jeep. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install this. It should be fairly quick to do this. It is pretty much 2 bolts at one end and 3 bolts at the other. And you're just using factory hardware. So let's go ahead and get this installed. Now that we've got this installed, I'm going to take it for a ride to try out the 3 settings and determine which one I like best for my 37-inch tires. Okay, so we've got it in the soft setting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a little drive around the block where we'll hit some potholes, some rough roads. We'll maybe turn the steering wheel a little bit just to see how the soft setting performs. So let's get going. So I'm not gonna lie, those little bumps that we just went through here, those I would have felt them pretty extremely with the Fox 2.0 through shaft stabilizer. Possibly that stabilizer was actually blown out altogether because this is on the soft setting and it already performed better. So yeah, I'm pretty intrigued by this. Yeah, maybe I just needed a new stabilizer altogether and that was the issue. But at least with this one, I've got 3 different settings to try out to see which one I like the best. So far, this is already performing better. So let's keep going and we'll hopefully be able to do some turning to see how it feels with the steering wheel. Overall, the steering wheel play seems pretty close to what the stock one was and what the Fox 2.0 through shaft was. It's got, you know, it's not hard to turn. It feels like factory. It doesn't feel like a tough vehicle to move. Everything's easy. Yeah, definitely intriguing how this is riding because the way it's handling the bumps is better, but the steering feel is the same as what stock was. So that's pretty intriguing right now. So we got one more little section here. When I give it a little bit of real turning into it, it feels great. It doesn't feel sloppy. Everything feels good. I mean, is that supposed to be different? I'm not sure, but it feels good. And I like the way it hits these bumps. That's one intriguing thing. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna pull over and we will switch it to the medium setting. And we'll do the exact same route to see if there is that much of a difference. Okay, so we've got it in the medium setting and we're going down the first stretch that we did already as well. I definitely can feel the difference because even when it hits these bumps, the wheel doesn't move at all. So it's already a lot better, that's for sure. If I go no hands, the steering wheel barely moves when it hits these bumps. Yeah, really impressed right now. Definitely impressed by this. So let's keep going and see what we have. Now this one definitely, even when I'm just doing little turns here, this feels a little tighter. It definitely feels more like I have heavyweight tires on it. It's definitely tighter to turn. So there's definitely a different feel on here. So yeah, medium setting, I would say it's definitely more firm. give it a... You know, I like the way this feels. It feels very responsive in the steering wheel, and we're only on medium, so I can't wait to see what this firm is going to be like. From what I've read online, firm is the one that everyone chooses, so right now I'd be choosing either soft or medium, because for me, they are both better than what I previously had. Very nice. Like, this steering wheel doesn't want to move. It just sits with the steering stabilizer. This is definitely a good upgrade and definitely recommended. So what we're going to do now, guys, is once again, I'll pull over and I'll switch it to firm and we'll try that one out. Okay, so we're now in firm. Let's give this. Okay, so now we're in the firm setting. Let's see how this one performs. Yeah, on these bumps with no hands on the steering wheel, she stays perfectly still. The steering wheel barely moves at all. So the firm is really good. So pretty impressed by the way this has turned out. Let's keep trying this out, see if we can feel some more. I can already feel in the steering wheel when I'm turning side to side, it already feels, yeah, it's definitely firmer. The question is whether I'm going to go medium or firm for my daily ride. This one for me, doing these light turns here, it feels, I definitely feel the heavier tires. It feels like I'm trying to move heavier weight, so it feels almost stiffer as well. But I think there's a benefit to that because even though it's stiffer, it handles these bumps a lot better. So that's the one thing I'm kind of, which way do you want it? Do you want it to feel stiffer when you're turning? Or do you want it to be able to handle when it hits these weird bumps and goes a little bit off of alignment? Let's continue to see how this goes. We got a little bit more, some traffic right now, of course. Traffic and people slows things down. Why can people just not be around so I could do my route? Yeah, definitely a lot firmer in the steering wheel. That is a big difference. I kind of like it because it feels more responsive. It feels like when I'm pulling on the steering wheel, it's actually turning versus with the soft setting, you don't feel the tires as much. So can still turn one-handed. That doesn't change anything. That really hasn't changed. It's just the way it hits the bumps. Yeah, pretty impressive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull over and we'll wrap this video up. So guys, I'm really impressed by this product. It definitely performed above my expectations. For anybody who's adding larger tires to their Jeep or has larger tires on the Jeep, I highly recommend that you purchase one of these adjustable steering stabilizers, either the one from Teraflex or the one from Fox. Both would work probably just fine because both of these steering stabilizers are designed for the larger size tires, where the cheaper options like the Falcon 2.0 through shaft that I previously have on the Jeep may look like they're meant to perform a little bit better, but they cannot handle the extra weight. And I know this for a fact because I've been running that Falcon 2.0 through shaft on my Jeep for about almost 2 years, and I've had nothing but bump steer every time I hit a weird bump. Where with the Falcon Nexus 2.2, I didn't have any bump steer on any of the 3 settings. So I feel like this stabilizer is designed to work on all 3 settings, and it's really going to come down to your personal preference of how you want the steering wheel to feel and perform. For example, if you want the steering wheel to be a little bit softer and you can turn it a little more like stock, You can pick that option, but you're gonna get a little bit more reaction when it hits a bump. Where if you go with the firmer option, the steering wheel might feel a little tighter, but when you hit a bump, you won't get that reaction. For myself, I truly do not know which option I'm gonna pick. I'm either gonna go with the medium or firm. I think it's gonna take some more time to drive around with it to determine which one I like better, and then I'll make a decision. In summary, I highly recommend this product. It is worth the $400 that they go for brand new. If you can find one used on Facebook Marketplace, it's definitely worth trying, because especially if somebody has not used it for a long time. If they've used it for a long time, it might not be worth it, but if it's only been on the Jeep for maybe less than a year, it might still be worth it, especially if they don't have a lot of miles on it. If you're interested in purchasing this brand new, I will put a link below that you can click on to get one for yourself. If you have any further questions about this stabilizer, feel free to post them below and I'll do the best to answer them. As usual, guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Keep evolving your Jeeps, and we'll see you guys on the next video.